Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. A little recap on my last video where we spoke about essentials to bring along with you once you get your permanent resident visa. If you missed that video, kindly click the link up there. In today's video, we'll continue with essentials that you bring along when you get your permanent residence visa. It's a lot, so like I said last week, I had to put them into two videos. I will talk about them in two videos, so we'll cover everything. I don't want to be doing long videos that might bore you people and all that. So yeah, so that's why today we're talking about the part two of essentials to bring along when coming to Canada. If this sounds like something you like, please stick around with me and I'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. So let's dive into it. The first on my list is your tax document. So yeah, before you land, if possible, make sure that you bring along your tax documents, because once you land Canada and that first year you're not filing your tax, you have to live in Canada for a year before you file your tax. So this happened to me when I came. I wanted to study. I wanted to go back to school and they were asking me for my tax documents, like, and I didn't have it. You understand? So that's why that is on my list. That's the first on my list. If I knew this before time, I would have brought that. So I know that there are some offices in Nigeria that give you that tax document, like the tax slip and all that, if you work. You understand? So please, if you have that, kindly bring it with you, especially if you want to continue your education in Canada. Yeah, so about the education thing, I got to know that in Ontario where I stay, the government tries to assist students with funds, and you can get these funds through OSAP. OSAP simply means Ontario Student Assistant Program. When I came and I applied to the school, they asked me for my tax documents because they needed to calculate my income, where I was coming from, and that also determines the amount of OSAP you're going to get. So in the OSAP, the government gives you a grant that if you want to study in Canada, right, once you come as a permanent resident, not as a student, once you come in as a permanent resident, yeah, and you want to continue your education, let's say you want to go to college, you want to write your masters and all that, it also comes in a grant and a loan. So it depends on the school you're going to. So the government gives you a grant. That grant is like, okay, you're going to school, we know that you're not working, and even if you're working, you have limited hours to work, so the grant is free, while the loan, which is for the school fees, is not free. You have to pay that, but you pay it after you finish school. You understand? So I'm going to do a detailed video on this, but for the purpose of this video, just bring your tax documents if you intend to further your education in Canada the first year you land. You understand? If you have stayed like 2 years or 3 years, then you don't need the tax document because you must have filed tax in Canada. But if you've not filed tax and you're coming for the first time, you need your tax documents in order to further your education. Then the second on my list is that you please bring records of your foreign income while coming to Canada. And that is because when you get to Canada and maybe you have businesses that you run in Nigeria or wherever you are coming from, and you want to continue this business, you have to bring records of those foreign income with you to Canada. And whatever foreign income you make while in Canada is taxed. So let's say, for example, you're from Nigeria and you have a car business where you sell cars and all that. Once you land here and you intend to continue that business, any money you get from that business will be taxed in Canada. So please take note of that, especially those that are into businesses and all that. Then why you also need those records is because once you land Canada as a permanent resident and you're coming with children, you are entitled to child support. You understand? So when I came that time with my kids, and immediately once you come that first year, like I said before, you are not entitled to file tax till you live in Canada for a year. So when I came that time, and I came with my kids, I needed to file for child support. They were asking me for records of my foreign income, and where, how much I was earning from what year to what year, and how much it was in dollars. So you have to know the amount in naira and convert to dollars with the conversion rate of that year. So please take note of this. This is very important. But if you want to wait till like you file tax in Canada, then that's your preference. There are people that come here and give birth here. You understand? Even if you give birth here and you haven't filed tax here, you will still need to provide information of your foreign income. But if you give birth here after a year, like you file tax, then you don't need to give records of the foreign income anymore. The next on my list, that you should print 2 copies of your personal household items that you're bringing along to Canada. And this happened because when I came, I was asked what was in my bag, right? Like I had the list, and I had to present what I had in my luggage. So I advise that you also print that and bring along with you. And this also comes when there are some times that people miss their bags. So it helps because when you want to lay complaints about your missing bag, and maybe they haven't found it for a while, they'll ask you for details of what is in that bag. That's if they're going to pay you for missing your bag. So you need to have those details and the prices of how much those items were. So that also help some people. The next one is that you should print 2 copies of goods that will follow you. So there are some people that come and they don't want to just come to Canada and buy a car. They don't want to bring their car, they want to bring their furnitures, but of course you can't carry that in the plane, right? So if you intend to bring your things to Canada, like you are also allowed. And please note that these things are not taxed. So if you want to ship your car, or you want to ship one thing or the other, you can actually bring it to Canada, but you have to write it down when you're landing and submit to them that these are the goods that would accompany me, that is coming behind me. So let them know. So when you're going to pick them, they already have a copy of that goods to follow list. So please, if you want to bring your car, you want to bring your furniture, you love your car so much and you don't want to leave it back in Nigeria, please, you're allowed to bring your furnitures and every other thing that you have and you want to bring to Canada. The next on my list is birth certificates. Yeah, so you need to bring birth certificates of yourself, of your kids, especially your kids, because that will be needed for school and other things that they need birth certificate for over here. So please bring along your birth certificate, bring along your marriage certificates for those who are married, and those that have changed names, women that have changed their names. Bring along your newspaper change of name, your birth certificate. For those, I had a case one time that the primary applicant lost his wife. You understand? Lost his spouse. You should also bring along the death certificate of your spouse, or any member of your family that along the process got deceased. Please just bring along your certificates. Yeah, the next on my list is medical history. So bring along any medical history for your family, for your kids, for yourself. If you're coming in pregnant, go to the hospital that you've been going for antenatal and tell them to give you your medical history, because you might have done some scans from there and all that. So they have to bring all that, the tests you've done, and if you have any health condition, just make sure that you bring along all your medical histories. The next on my list are immunization records for your kids. Please try to bring along your immunization records. Last week I was called because my first child had most of our immunization done in Nigeria, but last week I was called to submit the immunization records again after I'd given it to my family doctor, and they called me back and told me that there was an immunization that she had to take that was missing in the record. And I was shocked because in Nigeria they don't take the immunization yet at that age. So, and it wasn't in her record, and here they said, I asked what year she was supposed to take it, and they said between 1 and 7, or between 1 and 10, or so, I can't remember. but it wasn't given in Nigeria, but it's mandatory here for you to have the immunization given. So they asked that I book with my family doctor and get immunization done. So if I didn't have those records, right, if I didn't bring the records down here, I wouldn't have known the one she had taken or not. You understand? So please, I always advise that you bring your immunization record for your kids. Once they ask you, you just give them the ones that you've brought, and they put it into the system, and if there's anything missing amongst it, they call you to update it with your family doctor. Yeah, so the next on my list is your baptismal card. For those who are Catholics and want their kids to go to a Catholic school here, one of the documents that you need to provide is a baptismal card. So please, if you're Catholic in Nigeria and you want your children to go to Catholic schools here in Canada, please bring along your baptismal card as proof showing them that they were baptized in Nigeria. And next up on my list is your educational certificate, your professional certificate, all the certificate that you have that has to do with your education. Please endeavor to bring them. Don't leave them back and like, okay, when I come here I'll do more certifications. Those certifications might count and you don't know when. So just bring whatever. So we Nigerians, we like certifications a lot. So bring all the certifications that you have with you, and you don't know where you might need this. Then next on my list is that you bring your updated resume. On my last video I spoke about you researching on how they write resumes here and how different it is that the way we write resumes in Nigeria. So please, before you come, make sure that you bring along your updated resume, because as you're landing and you're getting into the house and you've done all your SIN, you've done all that is in there for you to do for your landing process, the next thing that should come up on your list is to start applying for jobs. And you don't want to now start asking, okay, how is the resume done, what is it that I need to do? But all this you've done in Nigeria, and you have the updated resume, you have your certificates. Once you're settled, and the next thing for you to do is just start pushing your resume. It's no time to waste, man. The last on my list is that you bring an additional photo for your permanent residence card. This is key because I've had cases of those that came into Canada through permanent residence, and it was time for them to get their permanent resident card, and they just got a mail saying that passport photograph they have submitted does not meet the specification that was given to them or that is needed. I know that came like a shock. So there's this place in Nigeria, there's a studio called Studio 18. Shout out, by the way, to Studio 18, because I didn't need to go through that stress, right? So what they do is you give them the specifications, just a normal studio, right? But I think they just do it right, because almost everyone I know go there to get passport photograph done. So immediately you get that email, the gold email, telling you to submit your passport. They also ask you to submit your passport photograph with specifications that are included in the email. That's what most people do. You just go to Studio 18 and give them the specifications and tell them, please, these specifications is what I want. You have to follow them, because when you come over here and you get the specifications wrong, you would need to take another photograph. I know when I came then, and I had people saying, oh, they needed a new photograph, and you hear the amounts that they take just passport photograph here. Do not even try to check the rates, or when newcomers come. And I did it too when I came, and we need to buy stuff, and I'm like, oh god, how much is this? And I'll like convert straight. How much? Let's say it's $5 and I'm converting. Oh no, $5 times this, and that just messed me up. And I can't believe right now I'm saying that I'm comfortable just buying things and not converting. But trust me, if you come in as a newcomer and they ask you to bring a new passport photograph, and you hear how much it is, that they take passport photographs, once you check the amounts with the exchange rate, you get the amounts you were supposed to do it in Naira. It will be so sad, like you're so angry, like what? So please, I always advise to just, even if it's the Studio 18, right, just try and bring additional ones, right? Or go to different locations. It's better for me. Another thing that upset some people when they came was that when they requested for that additional passport, you have 30 days to submit it. And you go to where they take passport here, you take the passport, and you still have to send it through courier. And God forbid something happens and it doesn't get to them. So I just prefer that you bring additional copies of this. So once they ask, oh, this one is not the correct one, you already have backup that you send to them immediately. So please take note of this. That sums up my essential documents to carry along when coming to Canada through the permanent resident route or any route at all. Yeah, that sums up that video. The tips I have for you is that please make photocopies of your documents, or if possible scan them. Me, I like making photocopies, and I also scan some also. So please make photocopies of all those documents, and also scan them in case the photocopies gets missing. And that tip is, please do not put your documents in your bag. That's the bag that you're checking in, your traveling bag, your luggage that you're checking in. Do not put your documents in your luggage. Just get a small bag or anything that you're comfortable with and put those documents inside. That also helps in case you have luggages that are missing and your documents go with them. You don't even want to start that trouble. That just messes you up. You're landing and you're looking for your luggage and your documents, all your certifications, are all that are inside the luggage. No, so please put them very close to you, because it's very important. And the last tip is that please do not laminate any of your documents. I said this last week, don't laminate any of your documents. They are not needed at all. So thank you for staying to the end of this video. If you're a subscriber, I would always say thank you so much, because you're the reason why I'm here. If you're new to this channel and you want to join this community, I'm saying a big welcome, and we love you. And please don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, and share this video. You don't know who might need this video. I say this in all of my videos. You don't know who might need this video. Please just share, click the like button, and also turn on your notification in case I drop videos so you don't miss them. And please subscribe. So next week we'll be talking about pre-departure shopping list. This is my favorite. If I tell you the things I brought to Canada, that's my shopping list. I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything I brought, in what quantity. You don't want to know what I brought, man. In what quantity, and I brought a lot of things, and I also noticed that these things sometimes were not actually needed. So, but people still make these mistakes and bring these things. But again, I'm going to share them with you, and so you guys will learn and not carry a whole lot of things that won't be needed after or once you land. Till next week, we'll be talking about pre-departure shopping list. Thank you guys for sticking around with me. Till next week, I'm still your girl. Bye.